Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Clubhouse. Supplements I take in a day. So what does a W do? What does the medical medium do? I'm asked that all the time. Like, I want to do what you want to do. I'm like, well, you may not want to do what I do, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do and what I do. So that's what today is about. It's about how I take my supplements. What supplements do I take in a day? Not just that, a couple of other cool things too as well. So it's not just supplements. We're talking about a couple of other little supplemental tricks that I do. I'm glad everybody's coming on. Good to see everybody. So I'm excited about this. Chris, what are you doing? Hey, Chris, Seaweed Hero, how you doing? Glad you guys are coming on. Rosanna, you're coming on. Everybody's coming on here. Michelle L. I think I saw Ashley Kibben. Good to see you guys coming on. And this is fun right here. Lorraine L. Good to see you. Kathy Owen. It's great to have you guys coming on here because this is a fun one for me because I never get a chance to do this. It's like I always show you guys different things, different medical medium tools, different ways to heal, of course, all kinds of powerful information. But I don't go like into exactly what I do personally, right? It's something that I haven't had a chance to spend time on. And I think, you know, if it's helpful, if it's interesting, hang in there while we go for the ride. And I'm also going to share other information, obviously, on how to heal, answer a couple questions, if some, you know, and all that. So let me get started. So in the morning, the first thing I do is obviously lemon water, right? So I got the lemon right here. It's the first thing I do in the morning, right? It's actually, obviously, a medical medium healing tool, flush the liver. But I do this before I take any supplements. You know, so I squeeze a little lemon in a glass of water, 16 to 32 ounces. That's the first thing I do. You guys know that. We talked about that on the mono cleanse, talked about that in the medical medium morning cleanse, right? But let's go into other parts. I actually do teas in the morning, so that's something I do too. So I'm going to show you some of the teas I do. I do a really strong peppermint brew in the morning. I'll do the rose hip hibiscus, right? This is a traditional medicinal. Let's do the raspberry leaves. I make really strong brews of tea, so I'm going to do that in a moment. Yeah, that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to show you some other things as well. So let me get a cup of tea going right now, first of all. Got my cup right here. So this is a different kind of episode. This is an episode of what AW does. So I got some hot water that I just brewed, right? You guys, are you guys doing tea every day at all? So what brands? We'll begin with the tea. I'm talking about traditional medicinal, okay? I'm going to be talking about Vimergy. That's the brand right here of supplements that I admire the most because of the quality and all kinds of other reasons, and I'll talk about that. So I'm going to show you that too. I got the Wyman's Wild Blueberry Juice. It's something I do every single day. I'm not sponsored by traditional medicinals. Just a little forewarning there. Not sponsored by these guys. I'm not sponsored by Vimergy. This is stuff I do every single day, okay? I am working with Wyman's to make sure this stuff gets out there in the world because it's incredible, right? All these different reasons. I've talked about that before. But so as far as the teas go, I make a really, really strong brew, and I'll do multiple teas in a day, okay? So that's something I'll do. So I'll get a really strong hibiscus rose hip in the morning. What I like about the rose hips is it's great for the immune system. And right now we have to keep our immune system strong. So what you'll find in here is a lot of powerful immune system builders and boosters, right? And I'm going to be doing multiple lives on this topic right here. Not just what I take in a day, but I'm going to do an immune system builder one. I'm going to do a baseline supplement one too. So I'm dropping some tea bags in here. So there's one right there, and there's two, right? Okay, and three, right? So I'm doing 3 rose hip with hibiscus. So I usually do this sometime in the morning. You know, you can, I don't know what you guys, you know, if you do any teas in the morning, but that's one right there. I'll drop some honey in there too. Yeah. That's hot water. So I'm going to drop some honey right there. So that's one of. Now I do a lot of tea, just so you guys know, a lot of tea. What you won't see me doing is green tea. You won't see me trying to destroy my adrenal glands. And what you guys are going to be doing, what's going to happen out there is you guys are going to be, they're going to try to brainwash you guys. They're going to try to brainwash you to have your green tea, to make sure that every woman's on green tea or matcha tea or some kind of coffee. And I talk about that being bad, right, and all that stuff. But do you see me drinking green tea? Do you see me drinking matcha tea? Right? Do you see me drinking coffee? You don't see that. There's a reason, because green tea, matcha tea, coffee, those are adrenal destroyers for women, especially for women. Good to see you guys. Health with Liz, good to see you. So those are adrenal destroyers, annihilators. So it's funny how the industry, the health industry works. Okay, it's one thing, the caffeine industry is one thing, right? But it's not just that. It's the alternative medicine industry. And the alternative medicine industry is such a game, like a tricky game. And it's a game to really hurt women more than people know, and men too. So they'll just push all that caffeine into women and they'll age them quick. Now, I don't know why alternative medicine loves to do that, but they do. And it's all paid for stuff. It's all paid for stuff, just, you know, so there's that game. So what you won't see in my morning or my day is you won't see teas that are, you know, that are caffeinated, because you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. That's important to know. So I'm going to do another tea right here. Okay? I'm going to get this hot right here, hotter. So, and that's so good right there. I'm going to do another tea. So I drink multiple teas in a day. One of the teas I drink a lot of is red raspberry leaf. Okay? And I'll do the same thing. I'll do 3 tea bags. Right there. And this is a great way to get minerals, trace minerals in you guys. This is herbal medicine. So I'm all about herbal medicine, but I'm not about stupid herbal medicine. There's a difference, and I'll go into what that means. Uma, do you do tea after celery juice? Sure. Yeah, 15 to 30 minutes later, absolutely. I definitely do. So I'm going to do another cup of tea right here. Using herbal medicine properly is how you heal, just so you know. Using herbal medicine properly is how you heal. And I'm going to cover a whole bunch of different things that I take. I got all the supplements here, right here. All the different stuff that I do every single day. I take lysine every day. Jody K, can you overdo it with supplements? I heard too many can affect the liver. Too many useless supplements. Too many supplements that aren't good for people to take. There's a big difference, like supplements and then there's crap, or supplements and trendy garbage, or supplements and junk. So let's give you a couple of things. Fish oil. Yeah, you can overdo it. Any of it's overdue because it's terrible for you, right? So if you're like, well, I'm taking my supplements, I'm doing my fish oil. Well, that's a disaster because of the mercury that's in fish oil. And I don't care what anybody says, there's mercury in fish oil. In fact, it's even worse than what people believe, because they try to remove mercury out of fish oil, and then it makes it worse because you have the homeopathic version of mercury inside fish oil, which goes straight to the brain, straight to the brain stem. Okay, so that's just an example right there. Like sodium bicarbonate, bentonite clay, apple cider vinegar gummies, like all this is garbage. Colostrum, collagen, right? Zeolite, all of this is garbage. And so, yeah, you can overdo it when you do zeolite, because zeolite you're not supposed to be doing. You can overdo it when you do whey protein powder, because you're not supposed to be doing it. You can overdo bentonite clay because you're not supposed to be doing it. You can overdo humic and fulvic acid because you're not supposed to be doing it, because this stuff isn't good for you. And that's the scam of the alternative industry too. They give you so much to choose from that you shouldn't be doing because it's garbage. If your doctor wants you on it, be on it, okay? But I wouldn't go on it. I wouldn't put family and friends on it. I wouldn't put any of the people that have reached out to me throughout my life. You know, I wouldn't put anybody on that. So I'm doing red raspberry leaf right here. I'm doing There's herbal medicine, and then there's herbal medicine that's not smart. There's lots of that out there. Keep that in mind. Hi, Anthony. Astrid says, I've healed my migraines that I've had for more than 30 years. I am so grateful for your information and your help. So, Astrid, you're seasoned. You know what's going on out there with products and everything else. So you're obviously doing the medical medium tools. You healed your migraines. And the not-so-sick people, they play around in the land of supplements that aren't good for you, and they can do that when they're not so sick. When you only have a headache but not severe migraines, you can play around with all the different thinking out there and all the different bad supplements out there. So, question on TikTok, I think it's a question. Can you mix the teas? You can. You can. I don't mix them, but you can. So what kind of tea is that? Okay, so that's red raspberry right here is what I was just doing. Red raspberry leaf from Traditional Medicinals. Okay. And that's the rose hip one. Medical Medium directory, medicalmedium.com. You can find it on directory. So let's talk about other stuff I do. So I'm just showing you some teas, and I drink the teas all day. So into my supplements, so I do the tinctures, right? I love tinctures. I got a shot glass right here because that's how I take them. I got some water right here too, okay? So every single day I take tinctures. So you'll see them right here. I'm going to kind of show them right here. There's the nettle leaf. There's the lemon balm. So lemon balm, every single day for me, and I'm not telling you to do what I'm doing. I'm not trying to say, hey, do what I'm doing. You listen to your doctor and whatever you choose to do in your life, right? But that's the best lemon balm out there, and it's in tincture form, and it's the Vimergy, right? And what I love about lemon balm, okay, it's incredible for the cranial nerves. Now, I stress my cranial nerves out really bad. Do you guys stress your cranial nerves out really bad? Your vagus nerve, right? Your facial nerves, your trigeminal nerves, right? All your different nerves. Do you guys stress yours out? Because I stress mine out. And I know a lot of people have inflamed nerves. They got the anxiety, they got the depression, they got the trigeminal neuralgia, they got the headaches, the migraines, the aches and pains. I love lemon balm because it's such an incredible, powerful tool for this. This is Vimergy, if you want to know. It's V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY.com, Vimergy.com. What I love about Vimergy, you could go straight to Vimergy.com. V as in Victor, I, M, ERGY.com, right? I'm not sponsored, but I love, love, love this company and what they do. Gentle but powerful, no fillers, no garbage, no nothing. And that's the thing. It's like that matters to me, but also really potent at the same time as gentle. So the lemon balm is an incredible healing tool for so many people. No citric acid, no natural flavors, no alcohol. It's really incredible. So let's go into this a little bit. How much do I take, right? So it's just moving this around a little bit so you guys can see, okay? So how much do I take? Try not to let disaster happen over here, like spilling everything. So that's one dropper full right there. Maybe somebody you're just taking one dropper full. Maybe somebody that takes one drop, right? But this is what I do. So I'll put two full dropperfuls, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. So I take 6 full dropperfuls of lemon balm right there. Put them in a shot glass. That's what I do. That's my shot glass right there. And I add a little water. All right? Put a little bit of water in there. So I just made a lemon balm shot. That's what I did. It's a lemon balm. Now, this is a tool used correctly right here. It's the right kind of lemon balm, right kind of lemon balm product, and already that's a win-win. Because what people don't understand is you get a lemon balm out there that's an alcohol with natural flavors or anything. You get a lemon balm that's not it's got fillers in it, or it's just a weak version. You know, Neza says zeolite is garbage. I read that it is okay in your book, Medical Medium. I'm glad you asked that. I'm going to cover that too, why that was there. Because Just like I will drop anything that I think changes. If a product is changing, they're dead to me. That's it. And there hasn't been a zeolite out, not even to this day. I know everybody screams zeolite and all this stuff. They're not good, okay? In my opinion, they're not good. And they dehydrate. They remove important trace minerals. There was a zeolite that was okay enough at the time when dulse wasn't present, right? But it's not okay enough. And what people do is to do large dosages of zeolite, the whole thing, and they're using the wrong zeolites. So the only reason why I offered zeolite at one point, there was a certain variety of zeolite out at the time in small dosages. It would help get some debris out of the intestinal tract, but it can't cross the barrier of intestinal tract. It can't go into the bloodstream. It can't very easily. It can't go into places you need to go in. And the zeolites today are not the right kind. So I just want to make that clear and how that works. So, but what you'll find is the heavy metal detox smoothie, which is the spirulina and the barley grass juice powder, right? Heavy metal detox smoothie, that's helping people heal around the world. People are trying to hop on that boat, that bandwagon. So they'll say, hey, do this zeolite 2 with your heavy metal detox smoothie. And then they try to take credit for what the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie does. Zeolite in the last 20 years hasn't done anything for anybody. Somebody has lupus or RA or Hashimoto's, they keep with their RA, their Hashimoto's, their neurological Lyme. They keep with their lupus. They keep with their conditions. Zeolite doesn't change that. Same thing with like humic acid, fulvic acid. It dehydrates the body. It doesn't give back. It takes, and it doesn't get people out of sickness. Medical Medium Info is about getting people out of sickness, disease, illness, struggles, symptoms, and doing it right. So, there's people out there that use herbal medicine, they use it wrong. So I'm showing a great way of how to use it. You can ask your doctor what's right for you, but this is how I use it for my friends and family. So this is a lemon balm, okay, shot right there. And I take this every day. If you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you want. So that's a lemon balm shot. Now I take those throughout the day. Kathy Hill, will the lemon balm tea be just as good as the tincture? It's not as good as the tincture, but I like the lemon balm tea. And I like traditional medicinals, lemon balm tea. That's the peppermint right there. But it's not as good as the tincture, but it's still helpful. So if you have the lemon balm tea, drink it. Drink it if you like that. It's fine. But this is more of heading to that extra medicinal, that powerful level of a healing tool. So that's why I do it with the tincture. It takes it to that whole other thing. So that's what I do with the lemon balm. I do that every day. So the thing is, the question is, I've never showed you guys this. I never have yet, of like how I do something for myself. Put the name of the company to buy. It's Vimergy. It's V as in Victor, IMERGY.com. So that's what it is. That's the name of the company right there. It's Vimergy, that little symbol on the bottle, right? V as in Victor, IMERGY.com. That's where you get them. Which ones will help with joint pain? And listen, this is going to be one of a few lives I'm going to be doing. I'm letting you know. If you go into Cleanse to Heal, you'll find joint pain in Cleanse to Heal. And you'll see which supplements to use for joint pain. So if you guys have a symptom or condition or any kind of illness, right, you can find it in the Cleanse to Heal book. Okay? Bring the book to your doctor. Ask your doctor what's right for you, but you'll see supplements and dosages. I'm going to go into detail on that on another live. Not on this one, though. This is more of like what I take in a day. Good to see you guys coming on. I'm excited about today because this is like real personalized stuff. This is my personal life. This is how I take care of myself. And I don't know. I've always showed you guys stuff I do and stuff I eat, right? But I never go as far as like really showing you exactly what I do. So this is like a personal episode right here, which is just fun. It's cool to do this. I like getting real close with you guys on all this information. So I need a lot of lemon balm. Okay. Now I love it for anxiety. I don't have anxiety or an anxiety condition. What I have is stress tremendous amount of stress. That's what I have. I'm finishing up a book right now. I'm getting 3 hours of sleep right now. You know, I'm working really hard. So if you're under stress, emotional turmoil, maybe relationship issues, whatever's happening in your life, maybe you're just worried about something, I always recommend to my friends and family the lemon balm is what I do. So, and this is how I take it. So I do 6 dropperfuls, and I take that like 4 times a day. So 4 times a day, what I just showed you guys. So that's how I take it. So that was one right there. So later on, I'll do another round. I'm not saying you guys do this. Talk to your doctor what's right for you. You can be somebody and just take this much. Like I have friends and I'd be like, just take 6 drops. 6 drops. And it's going to be really helpful for your anxiety, I say to my friends. It's going to be helpful for any anxiousness, any kind of stress. Dale says, could you say again where to order the lemon balm? It's a Vimergy.com. Go to their website, V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY.com. Go to their website. I'm not sponsored by these guys. These guys are not paying me. I'm not sponsored. I don't own the company. Very important to know. If I owned a supplement company, it would say medical medium across the bottle. It would say medical medium supplements. This is just the one that I use and trust. So I wanted to show you guys. So I would do another round of these. It's like this, right? 6 more of that. Irma, lemon balm is really helpful with panic attacks and how. It's MM info. Exactly. It's medical medium info. It's really powerful for panic attacks. It's wonderful for anxiety and all of that. And so what I like about lemon balm, try not to, I'm just going to say this, try not to get overwhelmed with what you see me do. Just giving you a little 411, little disclaimer, okay? I'm personally showing you, maybe one of the reasons why I don't show you guys what I do is it could overwhelm you. You know, that's all. Because you might say, wait a minute. Do I have to take all these supplements? What I have to do? 6 dropperfuls of this? That's not what this is. I'm actually just saying, you guys, I want you to have a window into what I'm doing in my life. I want you to have a window into how I'm taking my supplements. And this is the window right here. So I do 4 of these a day. 6 dropperfuls in some water is what I do. You may be somebody that takes 1 dropperful. It's amazing. Just 1 dropperful. Much light and love. Vimergy has always been good to me. They listen to you. They really do. That's what I love about them. They care about you, and they run heavy metal testing on all their supplements. They do by an independent testing organization, not one that's not independent, which all the others do. That says everything right there. Linda says, can you say something about vitamin B12, how much and how long to take? I'll go to B12 next of what I do. That's the Vimergy B12. We'll talk about why I take it, okay? All of that. So let's head there. Let me get the shot glass out. Now, B12, I take orally a lot of times. I just put it directly in my mouth, but I also do the shot glass too. So go into that a little bit. I want to mention something now about Vimergy being good to you, okay? Because I know you said that, right? And they've always been so good to you. I want to tell you how I even went into this whole thing of why this is one of my favorites, okay? Because the quality is far surpassed any spirulina. So this is spirulina. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I used to be supportive of Pacifica spirulina, right? So West Coast spirulina. And a couple of things went wrong there, all right? One of the West Coast companies, I found something in their bottle. And I never spoke about this before, but I found something in their bottle. It was a little piece of plastic that was this big, like a little tiny thin square that was the color of the spirulina. I could have accidentally swallowed it. And because of spirit of compassion, I didn't. I never told you about this story. It's a private story. It's like only my family knows this. A couple of my friends, I told the story, right? And so, I went to the bottle with the spoon, And it was so thin and small, by far anybody else would have swallowed that. And I was really upset. So I was like, well, what do I do? What do I do? It looked like it could have been maybe one of the fresheners that are inside these things, but something was wrong. This was so easily a problem. And so I called the company, told them who I was. I'm the medical medium. You know, I left a message on your you know, at your company before, and I promote your products, your Pacific Spirulina. I have thousands of people out there that, you know, come to me for help, you know, all these things over the years, thousands and thousands of people. And I like a good product, so I know I can help people, right? And, you know, I've left messages before and they've ignored me. And it's the first sign when the companies ignore me, right? And then when I found this piece of plastic, this dangerous thing in there, I reached out to them. It's like, give me a call back. I found this and this and this. They never did. And I was like, that's it. Done. No recommendations from me. It's over. You know, strike two. And then the oceans got more polluted recently. Just in the last few years, the last 3 years, the West Coast water is so polluted. Sea life is actually being forced to come closer to the shore. And that's why so many people are with their videos and their cameras like, oh my God, I see another shark. I see another porpoise. I see another whale. I see another this. The reason why is because there's no more ocean left out there in the West Coast. Because it's a garbage patch now. So everything's being pushed to the edge. And so I'm done with the whole Pacifica Spirulina. Done. Like, I can't even tell you. And that's the best stuff on the market right there is the Vimergy, which is not Pacifica, and it's the best stuff. So it's Vimergy, Vimergy. We'll talk about that in a little bit. This is like more I'm always personal with you guys, duh, right? I always am. But this is more like, okay, what is AW doing? Where's the fly on the wall on AW? Like, who's going to be the fly? Like, where's the fly on the wall with AW at AW's house, right? So yeah. Can you say something about vitamin B12? How much and how long to take this? Vitamin B12 in blood can be on a high level. What do you recommend? I noticed that I need it a little bit every day without I get symptoms. Okay, here's the things. You get symptoms, right? If you don't take it. But yet you have high B12, right? See? And that's the problem the industry doesn't know. Alternative medicine doesn't know how B12 works with this, okay? Is that it's okay if levels are high. Do what your doctor says, though. Your doctor doesn't like something, you just listen to them. I'm just telling you that what I would tell my family member. If a family member had high B12, I wouldn't say, stop taking the B12. Because it's helping your symptoms get better. Because what they don't measure and what they can't measure is how much B12 your central nervous system has. So what I tell my family members is you keep your B12 high so that your central nervous system is getting enough B12, which is your cranial nerves, your brainstem, that your brainstem is getting enough B12, how important that is to get enough B12, right? And because they can't measure how much B12 your vagus nerve needs. You guys see how important this is? They can't measure how much B12 your phrenic nerve needs. Okay? Ulnar nerve needs, right? Your cochlear nerve needs. They can't your tibial nerve, they can't measure how much these nerves need, right? Your sciatic nerve. It's not, whatever. And it's not cranial, but trigeminal nerve, facial nerve. They can't measure that. So your symptoms can get worse even if you have high B12. And the wrong kind of B12 won't even absorb properly. So, and that's the other thing. This is the adenosylcobalamin, methylcobalamin B12. So I take this every day to get the B12 I need. I'm on lots of B12. I mean, what I do and have to conquer on a daily basis. Like the amount of stuff I have to conquer on a daily basis and what I'm up against every day. It's just, it's absorbing, that kind of, you need that. Health of Liz, only learned this from you. Never learned this in neuro class. I'm honored, Liz. It's incredible. And thank you for being here today, by the way. Your support is so helpful. What are the right kinds of B12? Okay, so there's a lot of B12 products out there. Alcohol's in there, okay? Preservatives are in there. It's all the bad preservatives in B12s. Keep that in mind. MSG, natural flavors, are in B12s, okay? And then there's cyacobolamide. That's a bad B12. There's other B12s. So even if you have the right kind of B12, like methylcobalamin, doesn't mean it's the right kind of B12 because of how it was processed, made, the quality of it, and everything else, right? But the right blend is adenosylcobalamin and methylcobalamin. That's the right blend right there. And that's it. It's Vimergy.com. V as in Victor, IMERGY.com. I'm going to say their name because you guys, a bunch of people are going to be like, well, where do you get that? You know, what do we do? Whatever. So I'm letting you know. And if you just came on here, I'm not sponsored by these guys. I'm not the owner of the company. If I owned a supplement company, I say this all the time. If I owned a tea company, supplement company, or whatever, you'd see medical medium across the front, right? So what I'm doing here is 4 dropperfuls of B12, right? Maria Hale Taylor, why did you switch the B12 you were recommending 2 years ago? Because I always go to the better B12. That's why. I don't think it was 2 years ago. It could have been 3 years ago. Could have been 4 years ago. Not sure how long ago. But when a better one comes out, I don't have loyalty to the one that's not as good. There's something to be said about that. I've seen people, what happens is people who are involved in the supplement world, right? Meaning like they're being endorsed or paid or sponsored, or they own the company, right? Even if their product is garbage, they stand behind their garbage product. See, I don't have that loyalty. I'm not chained to a company for loyalty. If the B12 product is not as good and there's one better, then guess what? I'm on to the better one. And guess what? I'm going to stay with that and stay with that and stay with that. That's what I do. This is the B12 right here. But if they change for the worst, if any company changes for the worst, bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's just the bottom line. Because I always got to think about you guys. That's what it is. It's always got to think about you guys. Well, if I was chronically ill, I want to make sure I have the best opportunity to heal, and I have the best stuff there is. So that's 4 dropperfuls of B12 right here in a shot glass. If you guys just came on here, this is what I do. You talk to your doctor, whatever you guys want to do. I'm just saying, this is what I do right here, me in my life personally, okay? I take the best stuff is what I do. I only take the best stuff personally inside my body. Everybody says the body's the temple. The body's the temple. The body's the temple. Yeah, let's treat it that way. Which reminds me of something, right? So that's 4 dropperfuls of B12. I take that twice a day. Sometimes I'll do 6 dropperfuls. If someone does a half a dropperful, it's going to help. It's going to help. If somebody does that much, if someone's on a budget, they're worried and they're like, well, I don't want to, I'm not under a lot of stress right now. I just want to take a little B12. Just take a little B12. I tell friends, you could just take a little bit of B12 right there. You can do a quarter dropperful or something, or you can just do that. A lot of people, they're really sensitive. And that's what I love about the Vimergy products, because they're for sensitive people. A lot of people are really sensitive. They only need to take a little. So, little is good. If they get a little bit in them, that's fine. Quality matters. Cheap, crappy junk out there really holds people back. It holds them back from healing. I've talked about this for years. So garbage products holds them back, holds their healing back. So, and that happens all the time, right? So, all right, move on a little bit. I just showed you some lemon balm shot right there, just the B12 right there. Now, I take B12 also orally, so I also do it this way too every day. I'll drop 4 dropperfuls just like that. I'll try not to get it on my yellow shirt. So, okay, let's move on to more of, now, like a medicinal shot, right? Let's go into that realm, okay? So I'm exposed, I get exposed if I, I like to keep my immune system strong. So every day, if I get, especially if I'm getting exposed in some way through work or anything like that. Chelsea Floyd, first time I had liquid zinc from my local health food store, it made me throw up. I bet it did. I bet it did. But it was not good for sensitive stomachs. I bet it wasn't. It's one of my biggest fear out there of all the junky zinc out there. Was nervous to try the Vimergy one, but it was so gentle. No issues. Chelsea, that means everything. And that was the zinc world before Vimergy came along, right? That was the zinc world. The zinc world was you take zinc and you get nauseous, you get sick, or you can't, because of all the citric acid in it and all the garbage and junk in it. That's what that is. And that's why I love the Vimergy zinc. It changes everything. It allows somebody to have a chance to actually heal and to take something for their problems. Now, if you don't know medical medium information, Inside Cleanse to Heal, I'm just going to give you a reminder, is almost 200 symptoms and conditions, right? Diseases, symptoms, conditions in the back of the book with supplement dosages and recommendations on what to take in dosages. So I'm just letting you know, okay? There's a chapter that you should read if you ever get there, right? That you'd read, and it says what you need to know about supplements. What you need to know about supplements. And for the record, that is still on sale at Amazon.com US for $16.99, 51% off, which blows my mind. I told you I feel like angelic forces are involved with that because I still can't believe they're pricing it under what the book costs to print, and it's a medical textbook. It blows my mind. Okay, so if you guys just got on here, it's an honor to have you on here. We're in my kitchen. We're doing something a little bit more personal today. Even though, everything we do is personal and you know how much I care about you guys, love you guys. But this is more about like me and my what am I doing? Where's the fly on the wall for me? Because that's what it's about. So let's go into a little bit. Let's do kind of this next little thing. So what I'll do is, I love licorice. Okay, I love it for my adrenal glands. I love it for my adrenal glands. What about AW's adrenal glands? Okay, what about his adrenal glands? Okay, so I love licorice for my adrenal glands, right there. My adrenals are pumping because I'm dying out fires a lot. Dying out a lot of fires. And that's 3 dropperfuls of licorice. Now, what I recommend is you talking to your doctor about licorice. Is licorice okay for you to take? I talk about take the book to your doctor and you'll see where it says licorice and how many dosages and how much licorice or whatever to take. Bring it to your doctor. Ask your doctor about it. And that's what you can do. Lorraine, it's pretty cozy, right? Yeah, I know. It is. I feel that way too. Quality in licorice matters. I'm going to be straight up about that. Another thing, again, the quality matters means everything with licorice working. Working. Okay? No alcohol, no citric acid, but the quality of licorice itself, right? The resin involved in the licorice, it matters, right, to how it works. So what I love about licorice, it's anti-pathogen, antiviral, anti-bug, anti-pathogen. Why is everybody sick with mystery illness? Because their nerves are inflamed from pathogens, from viruses. I talk about that in the medical medium books, right? And so their nerves are inflamed from pathogens. So keep that in mind. Details matter, Adele. Right on. This is details. This is details. Okay? So I just put 3 dropperfuls of licorice in there. All right? Now I'm also going to put, a little bit of golden seal in here because that's what I do. I'll do licorice and some golden seal. So I'm going to do 3 dropperfuls of golden seal. All right. That's the Vimergy golden seal. Okay. Anna Sophie, please, the doctors again. Yep. So there we go. We got that. I put the golden seal in there, right? Now what I do is I take some cat's claw. Now, there's times, some days, that it changes with me, okay? It changes with me. And well, you know what? Dr. Nesbitt might come in here in a little bit. Might bring on Dr. Nesbitt. He's a board-certified surgeon and a board-certified, right? Board-certified cardiologist, pulmonologist too. He's a board certified MD. All right, put 2 dropperfuls of cat's claw in there, okay? All right. Someone's asking would Dr. Nesbitt, Adele? I might bring Dr. Nesbitt on, but I don't want Dr. Nesbitt to ruin this personal moment with us right now. Anyway, in here I talk about Golden Seal in the different, right? Tara Appleman, right, Dr. Nesbitt? Okay. If someone's really viral, I talk about that in this section here. Someone's really viral. I love Golden Seal, but I talk about dosages. Do smaller dosages. That's why this part is so important to read. So important to read. Okay? Dr. Nesbitt is a very qualified doctor, by the way. I'll bring him on in a little bit. If I could find him. All right, let's just keep on going. I put cat's claw in here. I put licorice in here. I'm having too much fun. With Golden Seal, I like to do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, depending. And I talk about that in the book, okay? Licorice root, I like to do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Sometimes I'll do licorice root straight and not take weeks off. Sometimes I'll do Golden Seal like that too. But it says in my book, you do it 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. It's a great way of doing it. So I have this right here. Okay, so we got that. What else do I put in here? I don't put the nettle in at the same time. And so I put the Golden Seal, right? I put the ashwagandha sometimes in, but I'm going to hold off lately. I've been doing that by itself, so I'll show you that in a second. This is cat's claw licorice root. It's cat's claw, licorice root, Golden Seal. Now, I held off my supplements today. Because I was doing this. Now, I think we were able to locate Dr. Nesbitt. I told you he's a board-certified surgeon and a really good one. He's highly qualified, too. He's probably one of the best doctors I've ever talked. And I have talked to thousands of doctors over the last 3 to 5 years. But Dr. Nesbitt is one of my favorites. He's here today. He's just coming on up. Dr. Nesbitt, we're doing a little supplement protocol today on TikTok. There's TikTok up there. You see Health with Liz up there? Yeah. She's cool, right? Dr. Nesbitt has been... He's been monitoring. We have a mosquito nearby. Dr. Nesbitt, there's a mosquito floating around right now. Figures. When we're live. So Dr. Nesbitt, what do you have to say to everybody? Anything good? Can you tell me? First of all, hold on. Hold on, guys. Dr. Nesbitt, I just don't like this mosquito and I don't want it to bite you. I heard it fly by me. All right, okay. I think we're okay. Do you guys like getting bit by mosquitoes? Because I don't. All right. Let's see. All right, so Dr. Nesbitt, what do you have to say to everybody? All right, so Dr. Nesbitt hopes that everybody's taking good care of themselves, that they're spending some quality time with their loved ones, or with by themselves. They're actually getting some outside time. If the weather's good. All right, Dr. Nesbitt might have to go. How much Golden Seal? Susan says, how much Golden Seal? First of all, this is my doctor, just so you know. Dr. Nesbitt takes care of all my health needs. I want everybody to know that. The most qualified doctor, actually. And Dr. Nesbitt is my personal doctor. And he gives me my recommendation. So, what? SOC? Dr. Nesbitt just said Spirit of Compassion is the one that gives me all my recommendations. And I kind of threw Spirit of Compassion under the bus just now by saying Dr. Nesbitt does. Well, Dr. Nesbitt, I do listen to you at times because you do give me some opinions, your doctor's opinion. Dr. Nesbitt says yes. Dr. Nesbitt says, yeah, he likes me on the licorice root. So that's one thing he likes me on, and lots of B12. All right, Dr. Nesbitt, we have to get back to work. Okay, what? You're not going to say anything? Dr. Nesbitt says he's not going to say anything sarcastic, and we're going to not bother the trolls today. Okay, Dr. Nesbitt's going right now, you guys. Okay, let's get back to work. This is fun. I Let's see. Healthy Liz says, you have cleanse to heal. I think they're talking to somebody else. Emma says, your mono cleanse has helped me like nothing else has ever. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. It's incredible. I'm honored. And people doubt me. They do. I know. It's amazing, but they do. It's the funny thing is I think you just have to be sick enough, to just go around, merry-go-round, and that's just what I talk about, the cults out there, because there's a difference. Like, this is not a cult. Those are cults out there, how they do it. They do the brainwashing. They got the power and the money behind it, and it trickles down, and everybody gets brainwashed. It's really sick how it works. And when you really learn the medical medium tools and how to use it, and you're not dabbling in it, what's going to happen is, here's one thing too. You'll run across somebody dabbling in say you're somebody new, and you'll run across somebody dabbling in the medical medium tools, and they're dabbling. So they're not really seeing results because they're also doing all this other stuff. They're doing their colostrum and their collagen and their fish oil and their protein powders and their MSG, which they don't know, and their caffeine and their ionized or alkaline water machines. They're doing all these things and they're poisoning themselves, right? And then they dabble with a little bit of medical medium, and it's keeping them a little stable, but they don't realize it, but they just don't know better. And then someone runs across them and be like, oh, medical medium's not doing it for me, no. And then that's it. You lost your chance, because you can be like, I doubt it. I doubt that guy's got info, the whole bit, even though millions have healed. It's just unbelievable. Let's go. Let's keep on moving forward. We've got another shot glass. So ashwagandha. So it's a medical medium tool, is ashwagandha, right? It's always been. I've always liked ashwagandha, okay? In the sense where it's a medical medium tool because of some of the reasons why we hear about ashwagandha stems from medical medium for 35 years, okay? And it's just like cat's claw. Cat's claw is used in neurological Lyme disease right now, for neurological Lyme. That's because of medical medium. It's 35 years of teaching Lyme doctors, fighting for it, lecturing about cat's claw for viruses and bacteria and stuff. So ashwagandha is kind of the same thing. Now, I take ashwagandha every day. So, can I put the supplements in orange juice? Yes, you can. I put it in water. You can put it in orange juice. Of course you can. Definitely can. Why take supplements separately or together? Okay. You can take them all together if that's what you do, if that's what your doctor recommends. You don't have to do anything I'm doing, of course not. Just do what your doctor says. But with me, is the lemon balm shot I take separately. I use it as a medical medium tool separately. So yeah. Cold White Springs says, Dr. Nesbitt, have you been laying eggs? All right. So I'll take it separately as a medical medium tool. That's what I'll do. I mix herbs that Spirit Compassion is telling me to do in that moment too. And that's how I live my life. I'm hearing information from Spirit of Compassion since age 4, if you don't know that about me. If you guys want to learn that, you can learn it in the books, the medical medium books, if you want to learn about that. It's the medical medium new edition right there. Check that book out. Read Origin so you understand how it works. Okay. Quality matters. There's so many junky ashwagandhas out there. It's unbelievable. There's junky ashwagandha powders. There's junky ashwagandha capsules and tablets, bad tinctures. And that's a problem all on its own. So that's something to look out for too. And that's junky ashwagandha can make somebody sick, by the way. Really sick. So there's a dropper full of ashwagandha. I usually take a dropper full of ashwagandha once a day. I tend to not mix it. Remember, alcohol and additives and citric acid and MSG and natural flavors, that's the stuff that's really bad. There's bad powders out there that have even that in there. Not only they're just junky powders, they got a lot of dust in them. So the one thing you'll find with powders like ashwagandha powder and herbal powders, what you'll find is there's herbal dust in those powders. And you guys are eating dirt and don't know it. That's how it works. You're eating dirt. And so what happens is when you're getting all your herbal powders, right? Okay? And you're doing that herbal powder and herbal tablets and many times herbal capsules, you're eating herbal dust. You're eating herbal dirt. you're actually eating dirt and dust mixed with your herbs. And people don't realize that. And that's something that gets in, that people don't even realize it. Yeah, it's how it works. But yeah, there's so much to talk about. I mean, I can cover a million things, and I'm trying to harness myself a little bit because I want to give you guys enough time on what I take, but I can go on forever with so much. And that's what's cool. We're going to do a series of these over the next week and a half, 2 weeks. There's people out there that will say, I'm doing medical medium, but they're not. They're doing supplements that are bad that medical medium would never recommend. Okay? So they're using companies that cut corners. And that's another thing too. So one of the biggest scams in supplements, if you want to know, one of the biggest scams in the supplement world is putting a little bit of something into the supplement. Little bit of cat's claw, a crappy one. A little bit of nettle, a crappy one. A little bit of ashwagandha, a crappy one. A little bit of this junk, right? Like garbage, little bits and pieces. So now you got a fat capsule or a powder that has a little bit of everything, and that's how they rip you off. I know how the supplement industry works. They scam you by putting a whole bunch of stuff in there, slapping a label on it. Here's our green powder mix. It's got all these different things in here. It's got alfalfa in it. It's got this in it. It's got that in it. And it does the list, a little chlorella in there, and it does this list down the line. And you get a little speck, and that's how they bank. They rip you off because you can't get better with you can't get better. You can't heal. You can't recover with a speck of something that's not even a good quality. You can't recover with just a speck thrown in there. So important to know. All right, so there's the ashwagandha. Okay, so I did 1 dropper full. Sometimes I'll do a dropper full twice a day. Sometimes I'll do 2 twice a day. Today I'm doing 1, probably twice a day. If you're not so sick, you might get a tiny benefit from that technique of just a little bit of garbage in these supplements. So a powder or a capsule, and you're just getting a little bit of that product in the capsule, a little bit of that product in the powder, and you might actually benefit as a not-so-sick person. Meanwhile, if you clean your diet as a not-so-sick person, you take enough junky supplements, you might see some difference. But it's when you get sick, that's when everything changes. That's when all the junk and garbage out there will take you down. So let's move into a couple other things. Got the licorice, right? Did some cat's claw. We did that. So we can talk about some capsules. I did some B12. If you guys just got on here, this is Vimergy.com. V as in Victor, IMERGY.com. You go to, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I'm showing you what I take in a day and how it works. 5-MTHF right there. I take that every single day. 5-MTHF. It's a methylfolate, right? Best one on the market is the Vimergy one, right? So I'll take 1 capsule a day. Sometimes I'll take 2. Pop one down now. Well, let me get a little cup. I'll use this. So, can't use that. And that's what I like about live. So I'll take a 5-MTHF, right? That's funny. I didn't know there were holes in this, but you know what? There is, because this is a water bottle. So it's a 5-MTHF I take every day. What else do I take? I take glutathione every single day. There you go. That's the Vimergy glutathione. Now, I don't have a chance probably to give you every little bit about these, but let's go into some other stuff I do at night. So what if I can't swallow pills? If I was somebody that couldn't swallow pills, right, I would get the powders for 1 at Vimergy, okay? That's what I would do for 1. So I would get everything like the powders in Vimergy, the barley grass powder or the spirulina, and then the liquids, of course, I would do, right? And then teas, like I was showing you guys at the beginning, the teas, right? And then I would open a capsule. So let's go into that next, okay? Let's grab a cup here. Let's open a capsule. So magnesium, that's something I take every single day, all right? So I would open a capsule is what I would do. Like that. And I would take it that way with open capsules. And I would mix it. I would mix it with OJ. I would mix it with anything you want to mix it in. Some water, some coconut water is a good way to mix it right there. So let's talk about zinc for a little bit. So zinc shock therapy is a medical medium tool. Talked about that. And like I said, this is just about what I take in a day. I'm going to be doing more lives as we go on throughout like the next 2 weeks about this stuff. So when it comes down to zinc, I'll put zinc in here. The PDF that I put out went around about zinc helping for the pandemic. That's how the zinc thing caught on. Liquid zinc sulfate's the right one to use. Now what you're going to see, here's how medical medium information works, okay? Here's the zinc we're using. Here's how medical medium information works. Is medical medium puts info out. It spreads around through the books and through social media, okay? And then other people change their supplementation around medical medium. So all the other companies change their supplementation around medical medium. They start putting things in their probiotics now because probiotics don't work. They never did. But they start putting like a little speck of this, like lysine in a probiotic because of medical medium. Or they put a little speck of zinc in a probiotic. Or they're putting these different immune system ones. They'll put a little bit of vitamin C in something now. So they're making all these different formulas out there, but ripping people off is what they're doing. They're making all these different formulas and they're ripping people off. And that's how they do it out there. They'll put a speck of lemon balm in something, a speck of zinc in something. They'll add it now into their collagen. So now collagen powders, because medical medium hit collagen powders so hard, right? Because I wrote about it in the books. I talked about how collagen doesn't repair skin. You actually need the building blocks to create collagen in your body, right, you guys? And because medical medium was the first to put that out there, that collagen itself doesn't fix your skin or your body or tissue. It's the building blocks to make so that your body makes collagen. So that was original info. Now everybody stole that info, not citing it, and now they're creating products for collagen building now that isn't collagen. They remove the collagen and they're putting all these medical medium tools and products now. So that's how it works. The medical medium puts something out there, like for instance, zinc. All right. Zinc is out there because of the pandemic now. They talk about it's important with the pandemic. You see doctors talking about zinc. That originated from medical medium info, all these years. And then the PDF I put out, the 35 years of doing work. So I'm letting you know how info goes around, where it originates. And I'm allowed to say it because the proof is there. Documentation's there and the proof's there of where it originates with medical medium, all of this stuff. So if you're somebody new here, it is what it is. Patrice, Bennett, how are you? Anthony, why do you think other vitamin companies are not as pure as Vimergy? Oh, money, 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 money. Money. That's what it is. Right? So, because you can cut corners as a supplement company. You can cut corners to the point where you couldn't even believe. And your margins are unreal. You can cut corners with fillers, and you can cut corners with lower. Did you know supplement companies have a choice to use high grade and low grade? Did you guys know that? When you're a supplement company and you're buying your product bulk, you can buy the different levels. All supplement companies don't buy the highest level. They don't. They buy the lower levels, and they won't go up to the higher levels. So they give you junk. That's how it works. It's one of the shystery businesses out there, supplement world. Shyster business of like big time. My God. All right. We talked about capsules a little bit, right? So here's something I do. This is some coconut water in here. Wait, hold on. Talking about the zinc a little bit. I just added water to the zinc. We'll cover that a little bit. I didn't finish talking about the zinc. I'm trying to find it. All the labels are backwards here. Okay, there we go. And I got the zinc right there. So I take the zinc every single day. I'll take 2 dropperfuls, 3 dropperfuls of zinc every day. Ask your doctor what's right for you. What I love about zinc is this great thing where you can just take a little if you wanted to. You can just take a few drops, like 3 drops in some water. Right? You can do. And the other thing is, The other thing is with zinc, which is interesting, is I talk about cold and flu protocols and medical mediums, zinc shock therapy. Check that out if you get a chance. Right there. It's in there, which is incredible. Zinc is the kind of thing where we're missing zinc in our bodies, and zinc is one of those viral fighters. It's pathogen fighters. It runs our immune system. It's critical. Z therapy works. Ernesto? Amazing. It really does. It's incredible what happens with that. So we did a little zinc, so we got the... And I do zinc separately a lot of times. I just don't put it in all one thing. Can you put all these in one shot glass? Yeah, of course you can. You can put all these in one shot glass if you want. So let's go and let's move forward a little bit more. Now, every single day I try to get the heavy metal detox smoothie in me if I can. Some days I can't get it in me because the day already went. Like the day is just shot. It's gone, you know? So we'll go into that a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll put a little spirulina, right in coconut water. That's what I'll do. So that's the Vimergy spirulina right there. And that's the Vimergy barley grass juice powder. And I'll put a little barley grass juice powder in there. And I'll mix it up. Now, later on throughout the day, because I know some of you guys are going to scold me. I know it. I'm gonna get scolded. And I know what's going to be is, where's the other ingredients? Where's the wild blueberries? Where's the wild blueberries? Where's all the other stuff, right? If you're just doing this. And I'll also take, like, the wild blueberry powder, right? So that's barley grass juice powder, not barley grass. There's a difference. You can't get the metals out with barley grass. So I'll put some wild blueberry powder in here, right? So you're going to be like, well, wait a minute. That's not the heavy metal detox smoothie. Where's the cilantro? Well, I already had the cilantro today, right? The other thing is I take wild blueberry shots, okay? That's the other thing. So this is something I do every single day, is I'll take wild blueberry shots. That's the Wyman's wild blueberry juice. So I'll take shots of this anyway. So I take this throughout the day. I'll do 1 or 2 shots, 3 shots a day. It's wild blueberry juice. I'm sure I'm going to spill it on my yellow shirt right now. So that's what I do every single day. It's at shopwymans.com. So shopwymans.com. I'm working with them, by the way. I am working with Wymans. Just so you know. It's the only company here I'm working with. Because I'm worried that, you know, that if I don't support them, we could lose this product out there in the world, and that would be a shame because this is an incredible product. Okay. I mean, traditional medicinals, I don't need to work with them. They've been like this for years. They haven't changed anything for decades. And Vimergy is keeping everything the same. So, but these guys here, it's hard to make this stuff. So I'm trying to get the word out. So, you know, it keeps this stuff going. It's so critical. All right, so we're on to that a little bit. So this is my quick heavy metal detox smoothie. I'll put it in coconut water. I'll drink this at my desk right here. So it's a spirulina, the barley grass juice powder, right, in the coconut water, okay? And I do the whole wild blueberries, of course, when I make the smoothie, and I also do the juice every single day. So that's how I do it, right? So that's my quick heavy metal detox smoothie. But keep in mind, I also eat cilantro later. I'm gonna have some dulse later, and I'm gonna have my wild blueberry shot. So keep in mind that I'm getting the heavy metal detox smoothie throughout the day. I had cilantro earlier today. You know, looks yummy. Adrenal snack? Yeah, it's a great adrenal snack. All right, so what have I not covered when we're talking about? So I take, no, here, okay, let's talk about a nighttime routine. Here's my nighttime right here. Yeah, I take celery force before bed. Celery force it's like a leveler is what it is. It gives you clarity, right? It always gives me clarity. I run on it all day, but I also take it before bed, believe it or not. So I'll do both. It doesn't make you sleepy, but it gives you a better sleep. That's what I discovered. So I do the celery force. It doesn't make you sleepy, but it gives you a better sleep. That's what I like, right? And what I also love about celery force, when you take it in the morning or take it during the day, you have clarity. And people always say, well, how come he does what he does? How come he can do all the things he does and whatever, and he's got high energy and stuff like that? Like, I'm trying to keep it kind of cool and keep the energy cool right here to show you guys what I take. But people are like, why is he high? It's something I take every day. It helps. It contributes to my high energy. But I noticed that when I take it at night, it gives me a better sleep, which is great. That's GABA right there. That's the Bimmergy GABA I take every night before bed, and that's the melatonin I take every night for bed. Now, dosage of melatonin. If you are a melatonin taker, or you want to take melatonin, ask your doctor what's right for you on a dosage, right? And your doctor might like the dosage on the bottle. What I do before bed is I'll take about 4 of these right here is what I do. So I'll take 4 of these capsules, okay? These capsules are 5 milligram a piece, so I'll take 20 milligrams before bed. Sometimes I'll take more. I don't recommend that for anybody here. You guys ask your doctor what's right for you. But what I do is I take 4 capsules right before bed of melatonin. And then I take screen's frozen, you guys. We're getting frozen out. 2 capsules of vitamin C. Now what I do also is I'll take 6 capsules of vitamin C. There's 6 capsules. I'll take that 3 times a day. Sometimes 4 times a day. That's what I'll do. Yeah, I noticed it was frozen out on your end. It's not frozen on my end. That's a censoring thing. Yeah. Farrah says the TikTok's not freezing. Yeah. So there's the vitamin C in there. I put a little honey in there too. And I'll crack an orange as well. So I'll crack an orange. Mix it up. Vitamin C shock therapy. I do that a lot, just so you know. Probably almost every single day I'll do that. Now that's 2 capsules in that one, all right? But I told you before that I take 6 capsules, sometimes 3-4 times a day of micro C. Showed you guys. Hope I'm not boring you guys with what I do. All right, that's vitamin C shock therapy right there. Now, time T I have every single day. So, time T is something I have every single day, just so you know. Let's go into that. Right? So, time T is something I do, but I do fresh time. Mix honey in there. I put some sprigs of thyme in there too. Right there with fresh honey. I do that every day. I use a lot of honey, you guys. Glucose to the brain is really a good thing. I'm going to talk about L-lysine. I'm assuming you guys are frozen out on Facebook, most likely. That's where I'm heavily censored. All right. So I got the glutathione, something I take every single day. That's the Bimmergy glutathione, which is incredible. Does your regular diet not provide all of these vitamins and minerals? Samantha, it works like this, is that regular diet is, you can say regular diet for thousands of years if you want, hundreds of years, but what has changed? What has changed in the last 100 years? Radiation floating through the sky, nuclear waste in places you wouldn't even believe, chemtrails dropping crap on us every day, mercury and chemicals, pathogens and toxins, engineered viruses released into the environment to actually just destroy people, Epstein-Barr's and shingles viruses left and right, mutations of different strep bacteria. So does your regular diet, was your regular diet prepared for the onslaught of horribleness that is upon us? Is your regular diet, it's a good question, Samantha, though, is your regular diet there to stop fragrances from actually destroying our brains, perfumes, colognes, the toxicity levels of that? Fragrances, you guys, there's no list of ingredients in a fragrance. They won't do that. Do you know perfume? You know what the list of ingredients in a perfume is? Perfume. Perfume has dozens and dozens and dozens of dangerous chemicals in it, but they just put it under perfume. Everybody's always like, well, I'm looking at my skincare. It has this in it. I want to be careful what I put on my face. I want to be careful on what I do with my skincare. Yeah, I read all the ingredients, but how come you can't read the ingredients on a perfume or air freshener? It's just fragrance. It's under the term fragrance or perfume, right? In skincare, fragrance is under the term perfume or fragrance, right? You don't know how many hundreds of chemicals. Actually, in cosmetics, perfume and cosmetics can be 100 dangerous chemicals from chemical companies. They can't list them out. You would have a coronary if you saw it. I mean, you would have a stroke if you saw what was in there. If you guys saw what was in your perfume, your cologne, if you saw the list of chemicals from chemical companies that they won't show, it's hidden. So everybody's all I'm into really good health. I'm into healthcare. I'm into skincare. I'm into like environment. I'm into all this stuff. And yeah, no, I'll put that on me. Let me spray some cologne and perfume on me. Meanwhile, you're covered with hundreds of dangerous chemicals that are destroying like the earth, the environment, right? And so anyway, our regular diets aren't prepared for that. Our regular diets are prepared for the next onslaught of chemicals being, churned out of a chemical factory, put in perfumes and colognes, put in air fresheners, put in scented candles. You won't see a scented candle. You'll just see scented candles say fragrance. Fragrance, beeswax. Yeah, you'll see some other stuff in there, but you won't see what the 100 chemicals are in the fragrance. So regular diet doesn't take care of that. I'm sorry, but the regular diet doesn't take care of that. The regular diet does not cover the onslaught of poisons and chemicals and everything else. You see how it works, you guys? It's so important to know, right? Yeah. Sad that people make millions of dollars poisoning people. Health of Liz, they do. They do. It's incredible, really. So anyway, so that's just some information today. Look, you guys, lysine is something I take every day too. There's a vegan EPA I take, right? From Vimergy. It's the only one I trust. I won't take one. If they actually didn't have this, I would never take an EPA DHA really anymore. Just none of them are up to snub compared to this now. And then the curcumin I take every single day as well. So I take that one, the Vimergy curcumin, right? So this is all the stuff I do. And what do I do for dosages on curcumin? Every single day, I'll take 4 capsules. 4 capsules of curcumin every day. That's what I do. Look, as I said before, I gave you kind of a little disclaimer, don't get overwhelmed at what I take. I'm under immense pressure, enormous stress. I'm putting out probably the most comprehensive book I've ever put out in history, in my history, and in the history of natural medicine and conventional medicine too. So, I'm working on that, and I got a lot of other stuff doing. So, and plus my own personal life stuff, which is, just stuff that happens in all of our lives that, you can't avoid. That's like just life, right? So with all of that, meaning like every day you wake up and you have to do your chores and everything else, right? So the bottom line is Just don't get overwhelmed at how I take my supplements, how I do it. But I do the lemon shots, lemon balm shots. I do enough B12. It's critical right there. I do the golden seal. I do the wild blueberry shots every single day. It's shopwymans.com. It's all vimergy.com. The supplements here. You can get your traditional medicinals. You can find them in the store, right? But I do a lot of tea, like I said, you guys. I showed you that. So this is a big part of it. I do, like I said, the heavy metal detox goes in here a lot of times, But I also have the cilantro on the same day. I have the dulse on the same day, and I have the wild blueberry shots. So I'm getting that a lot. If I can't make the smoothie one day, there's that. And the vitamin C, I take a lot. Sometimes I'll take 10 capsules 3 times a day of the micro C. Especially if I'm concerned about being exposed, concerned about anything like that. If I feel like I've pushed myself to a limit, the less sleep I get by working harder, say I'll only give myself 3 hours of sleep. Like last night, I only gave myself 3.5 hours of sleep, right? So my 3.5 hours of sleep, I'm like, I better take more vitamin C. So I took 10 capsules of vitamin C is what I did. The micro C, the best one there is. That's the best C there is. Anyway, guys, I'm heading off to IG. I think we covered a good portion of what I take in a day. But we're going to be doing another live on immune system. So maybe in like a couple days or something like that, we'll do an immune system one. Then I'm going to do, or a baseline one. What's a good baseline? Because this is everything I take in a day, but what's a good baseline for someone? Like, what's the definite baseline for somebody and they can work from there? So that'll probably be the next. You guys, I am heading off to Instagram. I'm turning on TikTok back on. I'm turning Clubhouse back on. Selena says, love your lives. I'm honored. Thank you for being here. Nirashini, good to see you, by the way. Ichoda, good to see you guys. Good to see you. Natasha, good to see you. You guys are amazing. Yeah. Austin, glad you're here. Christine K, how much cilantro do you take, Anthony? I eat a lot of it. I eat 2 bunches a day minimum. For me, that's what I do, is 2 whole washed bunches of cilantro a day. That's what I eat throughout the course of the day. I eat it as leafy green. I've done more than that every day, but some days. But yeah, I'll do up to 2 bunches. 1 bunch for sure I'll get in me a day. So that's really cool. Any questions on foods, I'll tell you anything about that. Yeah, Ashley Kiven, Monica, Michelle L. on TikTok. Farah, good to see you. Glad you guys are coming on and checking out the lives. All right, you guys, I'm going to head off to IG in a little while. And on TikTok, I'm turning you back on. Clubhouse, I'm turning you guys back on. Love you guys. And take care.
Природник е официален и ексклузивен дистрибутор на Vimergy за България, Гърция и Румъния. Всички препоръчани от Антъни Уилям хранителни добавки на Vimergy можете да откриете на природник.com. Природник е носител на наградата Дистрибутор на годината от Международната конференция на Vimergy 2025. Научете повече за прочистванията и протоколите с препоръчаните от лечителя медиум хранителни добавки в книгата Прочистване за здраве, която можете да закупите от природник.com.